The way I got into sport was through the army. I joined the army at 16 and a half years of age. And my first sort of club outside of the British Army was in Southampton, Team Solent. I think the first thing about Sergeant Ian Mackenzie is that I think the first thing, he showed that he cared. Whenever I did very well, he made sure that, it's something called orders, but he made sure he recognised it by letting other people know. And this is a young lad here, he's one of our number, he's performing in sports, these are his goals, this is what he's done so far, isn't he doing very well? And so for me as a young athlete, that gave me a sense of purpose, identification, you know, pick up my chest. You know, I felt, you know, all of a sudden I was doing so, being recognised for the right reasons. You've got to be able to paint the picture. I think what Lord Coe was able to do as a mouthpiece was to create a vision that we could all buy into. So then you've got Builder's dream for Mr. and Mrs. Average to buy into. That we are creating the next Olympic champion, world champion. Or we're creating the vehicle for a fitter, healthier Britain. It doesn't really matter what that dream is, but it's got to be a dream, what I call a unifying dream or organising principle, that we can all get ourselves around and see ourselves being part and parcel of that. Lord Coe spoke about legacy. We all got behind the idea of legacy, one unifying idea. Ourselves, our mums and dads, our brothers and sisters, turned up as games makers and welcomed the world at our back door. And they did this, you know, freely, because they identified being part and parcel of the team. I guess it's that really, being identified as being part and parcel of the team. And so quite clearly, on the back of all that love, care, attention, bonhomie, togetherness, our athletes stepped up, boom, raised the bar. In an ideal world, a club would have 4 or 5 different types of skill sets in their committee. Because sometimes what you find is that one club is ego-driven, and there's somebody who's a very strong personality in that club, and the club follows his or her dictates. And then that can be a challenge, you know, in an environment where what you're talking about is collegiate and collaborative, where egos are subordinated to the overarching principle. Definitely, I think the better way to go would be in a collaborative environment where you've got the local football club, and local tennis club and swimming club all coming together to achieve one goal. I guess sporting clubs, if they're really looking for business links, they've got to answer the question, what's in it for that customer? You know, because altruism is a very rare thing. You know, people will give you time, love, money, but there's a reward. They're looking for an exchange. So as a club, what do you offer the local bank, the local butcher, the local candlestick maker? What is it that they can get? How do they feel? Now, one big buzzword is corporate social responsibility. So most companies are becoming increasingly aware of their responsibility to the local community. So how does what you do serve the need for that business to fulfil their CSR, their corporate social responsibility? And how can you communicate that? Now, you see big football clubs, they put sponsors' names on their vests, but that's just the top end, that's just the visual side, it's what they do in the grassroots. And we're social animals. So how do you make the business feel part and parcel of your community, that they put a part of the family? You know, how are you feeding back, communicating to them the effects of their work? You know, and people, businesses and business leaders may be looking for different things. and it's understanding what are their motivational triggers. So, one business leader may just be looking to contribute to something bigger and better than themselves. So, if you can create an environment where you say, as a result of your investment, these 20 people were able to go on and do, but not just in the athletics field, these 5 have gone on and populated, and you tell that story, how that seed funding has gone on to create more. Others will be looking for a level of expertise. So to say that as a result of your investment, we were able to develop this infrastructure, and this infrastructure has been able to make these KPIs stand up, and you need to speak in that sort of language. And all of these things require a level of intimacy with the business, which often sports clubs don't want to do. They just want big cash, skyrocket, bye-bye. Well, you'll get the cash the first time, but there won't be any money left in the budget the second time. But if you're looking for a long-term relationship and not a one-night stand, this is the level of intimacy you've got to go into. Yo, pretty boy, Akabusi here. Listen, mate, I'm here live and direct, giving it up for some friends here, whereas you was at the big launch making all that money. Check you out, pretty boy.